Every single good golfer on the planet will have this shot in their arsenal, and this is an important golf shot for golfers that are trying to break 100, break 90 and really kind of break 80 and start making more birdies or up and down for pars. It's that kind of awkward half wedge distance. So for today's scenario, I'm 80 yards away from the flag. 80 yards from me is a full of nothing, because my lob wedge goes 100 yards, my sand wedge goes 115, and my gap wedge goes 125. So from 80 yards, I can't hit a full powered shot with anything. And I know for a lot of golfers, having coached so many times, that the full shot for you is more comfortable than the half shot. And the reason being because you're used to playing it. You obviously do it so many more repetitions of the full swing and the full power shot than you would do for the half swing. That's why I know this video will help you lower your scores 100%, I promise you. Get down to the range and practice what I'm about to coach you in this video, because it is so vitally important to be able to manufacture a shot from 60, 70, 80 yards when you're not hitting that full powered shot. Technically, I always argue this is an easier shot. I don't have to swing it as fast, I'm not swinging it as far, my body's not doing as much as it would have to do on a full powered swing. My timing doesn't necessarily have to be better or as good as it does when it's on a full powered swing. So a lot less can go wrong on that instance, but also the psychological side of knowing that you're not hitting it very far. And the most common thing I see for golfers is they just kind of decelerate into the golf ball. And what I mean by that, they don't physically just stop the arms from moving on the way down. What they actually do is they stop using the big muscles. Always use your bigger muscles in your golf swing, regardless of the length of the swing. Even if you're only hitting a 10-yard chip shot, you're still going to be utilizing your bigger muscles, because they're the parts of your body that will be able to repeat the action more consistently. You're not going to start trying to swing with just your arms, because you're not going to be able to judge the distance, but most importantly, you're not going to be consistent enough with your strike. So what I would urge you to do is to get onto the golf course or get onto the driving range and just start with waist to waist distances, okay? So this might only go 30 or 40 yards with your sand wedge and with your pitching wedge. Try with those two first, waist to waist. And by doing waist to waist, you'll notice that my hips are still rotating 45 degrees. My chest is still turning away from the target. I'm not really moving my arms up too far. I'm not moving my arms too far at all. I am actually just using my bigger muscles. I'm using my body. So now this is going to be much easier for me to actually repeat it over and over again, because that motion there is just a hip turn and a shoulder turn. Now for me, for 80 yards, I'm going to need to swing the sand wedge to about here or so. So this is, again, it's a feeling I'm going to try and have as a 3/4 length golf swing and 3/4 power. Together, they might equal around 80 yards. But one of the things you can do is you've got to get the consistency of the strike first. And by getting the consistency of the strike, you're going to be able to get your consistency and understanding of your distance control. So I go narrow stance, ball position in the center, get that left hip just sat over my left foot, stabilize my lower body in terms of body weight, but make sure I rotate. And you'll notice again into my follow through position as well, I've got a nice kind of full follow through in regards to the fact that my chest, my hips are pointing out the target line. I haven't finished up and over my shoulders, but I've kind of finished that kind of control position there. And in my own psyche, I've controlled the face and I've controlled the swing really nicely. If I wanted to hit this a bit further, I might feel like I'm going a bit further in my golf swing, and I might naturally feel like my swing has got a little bit faster. And it generally will do, because the length of the swing has got a little bit longer as well. So we're going to go a little bit further on this one. I might try and hit this one about 90 yards. And suddenly the ball looks like it's traveled a bit further. I've got into a slightly higher follow through position, but again, it's all very much controlled. There's no panic. And I find that golfers will generally panic more when they're not using the bigger muscles, when they're not using the body. And especially in this scenario here, we've not even talked about the bunker. How many golfers, how many of you watching this video are thinking, right, I'm here for 2 on a par 4, on the green, 2-putt bogey, fine, okay? Or potentially getting up and down. How many of you are now thinking, don't duff it in the bunker, because that's going to lead to a 6 or a 7? Because if I duff it in that bunker, I've now got one of the hardest shots in golf of about 40 to 60 yards for sand shots, which is horrendous. So we've got to make sure that you're just really feeling the rotation, really feel like the shoulders and the hips are turning through. There, don't be afraid to hit this length of movement or this range of motion in your full swing with your body, even though the ball is only going to go anything from 40 to 80 yards. Okay, so if I wanted to hit the ball first, if I get really comfortable with that golf swing, which I do feel, why not then try use a pitching wedge, a gap wedge, a sand wedge and a lob wedge and get 4 very different distances? That should pretty much cover you. If you're trying to break 100 or break 90, that's all you really need. One golf swing with 4 different golf clubs could cover you from 50 to 80 yards or 40 to 90 yards or whatever the range is going to be. It's not important as long as you know what that golf swing is going to produce. And the consistency of the golf swing is going to come from your range of movement. Okay, and then you're going to be, it's a lot easier for you to repeat it because you are in control of where your body is moving and you're in control of the speed. And then therefore you're in control of the face and the shaft and the overall motion, and you will be a better golfer. I told you, I promised you this video will 1,000,000%. I said 100% at the start. I'm adding a few zeros and it will definitely improve your golf swing. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tip. If you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button. Also, please do hit that subscribe as well. It does make a huge difference to the channel. Golf tips coming on a Monday and a Friday, so do come back for the tips if that's what you're here for. Also, if you're interested in course vlogs, course challenges, club reviews, ball reviews, all of that stuff, Sundays and Wednesdays are the days to be on the channel as well. So click the bell for notifications, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.